Hello scribblers and skimmers. Welcome to Taryn Study. I'm Taryn Tyler, and this is one of the places that I study. I used to do poetry open mics quite frequently. And then I got involved with improv, I got involved with doing YouTube, I had a lot less time. Sometimes the events will still show up on my feed and I will say, oh yeah, sure, I'm interested, maybe I'll go and stick it on my calendar. And recently a Monday came up in which I had not one, but two possible poetry open mics on my schedule. And lo and behold, I wasn't busy. This was a little bit exciting and terrifying because I haven't done it in over a year and I didn't have anything strictly prepared. The two open mics were actually on the same street. The one at Verbatim Books was an offshoot of a poetry reading I used to go to quite frequently called the Red Poets Society. And I read several times there and even did a double feature with Leon Alexander when he still lived in San Diego. I'm pretty familiar with that audience. Some of them still remember me. It's a really low-key setting, and I even have copies of my books on sale in Verbatim. So that was definitely the comfortable choice. The other open mic down the street was not actually an open mic exactly. It was a slam. For those who don't know, a slam is actually a poetry competition. So not only do the poets go up and bare their souls before an audience, but they're also going to be judged. They're competing against all of the other amazing poets that are performing. I had only been to that venue once, and when I went, I was incredibly intimidated. Poets who perform there compete nationally. There is really, really high bar. The amount of energy that comes from the crowd can be really intimidating. The crowd is at least 4 times as big as any kind of poetry reading crowd that I've ever performed at. So when I went to that one venue a little bit over a year ago to kind of check it out and see whether or not it was something I could do, just being in the audience, I was just like, no, never. I will never be able to do this. So obviously I was going to go to the Verbatim Books. That was the easy one. That was the one that I could do. But I had a little voice in the back of my head that was saying, no, go to the hard one. No, go to the hard one. Go to turn. Go to the hard one. Go to the hard one. And I was just like, I'm not listening to that voice. The gelato shop that I decided to go to before performing was right in the middle of both of the venues. So I went and I got some chocolate vegan gelato and I was sitting there typing away on my keyboard, getting some writing in. Obviously, I was going to go to the Verbatim. Obviously. But I didn't. Instead, I waited an hour in line to get into the Queen Bee's Poetry Slam. Not only did I wait an hour in line, but the poets who were actually competing had already been chosen. So my chance to perform was putting my name in a hat, and there was a chance of 5 poets being chosen as sort of an opening. So I put my name in the hat, and I didn't get chosen. I had given up what was an obvious, clear, easy choice for a very difficult gamble, and I lost. But I'm still really, really glad that I did, because my experience as an audience member this time was so completely different than last time I went to that event. I was just completely blown away and inspired and impressed by all the poets, but the energy in the audience did not seem terrifying and intimidating the way it had before. It seemed just really supported. Like, I was just excited to see so many people excited about poetry, about, you know, supporting other people's vulnerability. As I was watching the poets and, you know, they're up there performing, it's not just saying their poem, they're really getting into it and expressing themselves. And so one minute they're screaming and the next minute they're whispering, and there's just so many emotions going on. Instead of being like, oh my god, I could never do that, like never, 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 I was like, I can do that. I mean, it might take some practice, but I got poems. I like to yell. I like to cry. I can do that. So, I am going to do that. I'm super excited about it. Still a little bit nervous, especially since my poems are not the same spoken word style, and that was another one of the hang-ups when I had wanted to try to compete before. I write mostly like sonnets and old style poems because my heroes are Keats and Shakespeare. For a while I even tried to write more of the spoken word style where it's more free verse. It's not my voice. I can't write in it. But as I was thinking about it, Shakespearean monologues, actors scream their emotions and cry their emotions and they get really, really into it. So why can't you perform a sonnet like that? There's no reason. But in order to get myself completely ready for this, I need your help. I would love to get your feedback based off of doing a poem now. Would you snap for me? Be honest, don't just be nice, because, you know, it's really gonna help me if you let me know what I could work on. So, help me workshop this piece. It is called Book Heart. Ribbon of ink, a soul's entrails. Left from the dead, a story tells, a truth, a lie, a sentiment forgotten, a word, a spell, world I am lost in, incantation from long ago, bound inside a rhyme I know, time held still with thoughts repeated, time spun on with life unheeded. Mangled mind unraveled with sore eyes, a scholar watches, stricken as he spies. A life lived and then discarded. Poet's thoughts, scrawled on empty space. What has 1,000 times been said, he writes again, for future eyes to trace. Thank you for watching. Give me some of your feedback in the comments. You can follow me on Instagram, Taryn_Tyler_author. And as always, thank you to Kimberly, my very first patron on Patreon, for supporting me and my art. It means a lot to me that you find my work something worthy of supporting. So like, share, subscribe, write a poem. Bye!